Hello everybody, my name is David. Thank you for joining me today. This is a question and answer video that I do every single week. This is part 2. I do this every single Monday. If you missed part 1, please go back and watch it. I'm a life coach. I'm helping victims of narcissistic abuse recover and heal and grow and from abusive, toxic, neglectful relationships. Okay? So right now I'm just answering people's questions. If you guys have questions, go ask me anything down below in the description box. I'll answer it next Monday. Okay? Please give us your locations is something I ask. Just please tell us where you're from. Tell us the hemisphere, your state, your city. Let us know where you're at. Thank you very much, everybody. I also make recommendations every week in part 1. If you're interested on things that can help you recover and heal from this stuff, go watch part 1 and I make a recommendation on every single Q&A. So, first question in part 2 is from Steve in Melbourne. Hello, Steve. How you going? You were correct when you said the borderline will hoover again. Why does no contact trigger them to reach out so obsessively? Is the most effective approach to ignore or to respond and say, I'm not interested? No contact has helped me because the best version... no contact has helped me become the best version of myself, because you can't have a self in relationships with people with personality disorders, especially borderline and narcissist. You lose yourself if you want to be with them because it goes against everything you say you are. So, why does no contact trigger them to reach out so obsessively? Well, they're impulsive. What does impulsive mean? They're emotionally unstable. They can't regulate their own emotions, so they don't process them, so they stay open. And by the end of the day, they've got so many damn emotions on their page, they don't know what to do. And so it's fix it, fix it, fix it, impulsivity, do drugs, have sex, move, quit your job, break up with everybody in your life, and impulsivity, okay? They are completely codependent. They're completely dependent on people emotionally. Okay, this might be an addictive relationship. They're addicted as well. So they're addicted, they're codependent, they can't regulate their emotions, they need you to do that for them, they feel way impulsive. I hope that makes some sense. Why? Okay? So obsessive, compulsive, impulsive. These are all reactions to emotional instability and unstable sense of self. Borderlines don't know who they are, and they cannot regulate their own emotion. They're completely codependent, totally ruled by fear of abandonment. The second you stop talking to them, oh man, they just can go crazy. You said, is it good to respond and say, I'm not interested? I think it's always good to let people know right away to leave you alone, to stop bothering you. One time. You've got to at least say or do it once. I talk to so many people that say, my ex keeps contacting me. And I say, did you ever tell him not to? They're like, no. I'm like, well, tell him not to at least. I know that's, it should be obvious. You know, someone doesn't reply to me. I don't care who you are. All my ex-girlfriends, if I message you, you don't reply to me, then I'm never going to message you again. Right? Don't know who you are, no confidence. No, yeah, that's why. I hope that makes sense. Keep asking, Steve, until it does make sense. Thank you. Recovery from Mucho Sickos in North Carolina. Hello. Good to see you again. After 3 years of healing slowly, just can't seem to get back on track. I can't help but notice there are more females than males healing from a toxic environment. Well, females do heal better. Females are more responsible. Females are more mature. Females take care of themselves more. We know this for a fact. So you're going to see more females being proactive in their self-healing, growth, always. You just are. There's more females care. Supposedly, there's more narcissists. Male narcissists, supposedly. I don't give my opinion on that. Who cares? So you're going to see more female victims, typically, okay? Some of these, so there's reasons for this stuff. You said, I find it difficult to meet new people by myself. Everybody does. It's not totally easy for everybody, typically. It's getting harder these days in almost all culture. Number one reason, gasoline. We're losing a sense of community, guys. We are. I'm not blaming all gasoline. I'm just blaming, some major things that are factors like gasoline, social media, right? We're connecting with people all around the world, not our neighbors, not our community. We're not seeing them. We don't all walk to the same grocery store anymore. We drive our big SUVs to Costco 10 miles away. We get everything delivered. We're losing a sense of community. It's difficult for people to meet people, period. You said, I feel it's less intimidating for men to go out alone. I'll tell you right now, you'll find men go out alone to bars. Not shopping, right? Not movies, things like this that women will more commonly go to alone. Women usually typically won't go to bars alone. And you even mentioned that you like to drink, you go to bars and drink beer. Yeah. Thank God you don't see mostly women doing that alone. It's dangerous. But you don't see men going to movies and stuff like this that women do alone. Okay? You said meetups seem too cliquey for you. That you've tried meetups and you didn't care for them. You said you want more than just work, home, and being in nature alone. Any advice? I'm taking care of myself, exercising, and traveling, you said. Yeah, I do have advice. The best thing I like to tell people is this is self-exploration, guys. So you're exploring who you are, okay? And expressing these things. I remember in my recovery, I figured I like pink, right? I like the color pink. So express it. I bought things that are fucking pink, right? Instead of how I normally was where, no, guys don't do that, so I'm not going to do that. What gives a shit what guys do? Express yourself and who you are and what you like and what you need and things that are interesting to you. And if there isn't anything interesting to you, you're not very interesting. Right? You're going to have even a much harder time meeting people. Or at least, developing any kind of relationship with them. If there's nothing that interests you in the world, then how do you relate to anybody? So I make my clients find new interests. What interests you in the world? Show that you're worth it by going and exploring these things and finding out what's interesting to you. And if you have some new interests in life and you start exploring them, life becomes more interesting. You become more interesting. People find you more interesting. You end up finding people you believe are more interesting because they're interested in what you're interested in too. Now you have something more in common besides I'm on a dating site to get laid or to go on a date or find my wife or husband. There's more to life than that, guys. That's dependency. Go explore yourself and what you like, who you are. Find out what that is. Best way I tell people, I know you said you travel a little bit, but I have clients, when they can't do this, are struggling even more. They still can't seem to figure out what I'm talking about, finding interest. I tell them, start planning vacations. You don't have to take them. You don't have to take them. Start thinking globally and plan vacations. I've talked about this before. Say you can go by continents. Plan these elaborate, beautiful vacations. India has beautiful trains to travel on. Australia has a cool train to go across. And the Great Barrier Reef. Start planning these vacations and exploring some of these cities and see what they have to offer. And you can do that with the internet, right? Sitting at home. And so I tell people to come up with these elaborate vacations. And as they do it, they're finding things that they're interested in. And they may or may not even take the vacations, but at least they're finding things that they're interested in. And by exploring interest, you find people that are also interested in the same things you are. So now you're sharing similar interests. It's a great way to relate to people, to meet people. Okay? It's like, they say whatever you don't want, you attract. Whatever you're trying to get, you push away. That doesn't happen with self. I hope that helps. That's just my advice. Thank you. Krista, don't know where you're from. Please tell us your locations, guys. Please tell us where you are from. Thank you. David, you have no idea how you help me understand and learn. I don't feel pain anymore, and I'm not angry anymore. Thank you. Thank you for telling me, Krista. You're welcome. Very much. Thank you. And I like that. Do you see what she said? She's not angry and has no more pain anymore because she understands and learned. That's how you heal from emotional pain. Emotional pain is misunderstood, okay? I was raised by a single mother. She was poor and there were 5 of us. She supplied physical needs, not emotional. I have a career and doing well now. And you want to know, do I need to blame my mother for my low self-worth? You said she's helping you with your business now. You don't need to do anything, Krista. You don't need to do anything. You need to feel better about it. Okay, Krista? And you can feel better about these things with a counselor, a therapist. Doesn't have to be with your mother. Thing is you're raised now. It's over. She's not, you're not a little child anymore, right? That stuff is behind you in your past, but we need to feel better about it. It might feel better talking to your mother about it. Just be careful, okay? We don't need to go tell mom how she failed. What's wrong with her? She's a bad mom, bad person, But it wouldn't hurt to tell her, hey, mom, I'm discovering things about myself in my life. Maybe you have some codependency issues or something. You can tell her, mom, I went to a therapist and I have some codependency issues and they look like this, and things that she can identify with. Maybe she has these problems. Or I just want you to know, this is about how I grew up. And I want to thank you very much for taking care of me and supplying everything I needed, except some of the things I didn't get. And what do you think about this, mom? Because I'm going to tell you, Krissa, she probably suffers from the same thing. Parents typically don't get taught everything they know and then just withhold it from their children on purpose. Your mother didn't get it either. She may not totally even understand, okay? But you don't need to do anything, and we don't need to blame people for anything. All right. Good luck. Nicole from Portland, Oregon. Hello, Nicole. This is a very shortened question. I shortened it big time. If I'm missing something, Nicole, tell me. 1, your ex-narcissist said, you act like someone whose mom did drugs while you were in the womb. You're so effed up. 2, you told him that is something that worries you. That your mom might have taken drugs while you were in the womb and you might have some problems from this. You said you feel fine, but it's just something you worry about, that she might have actually done that. And then you said, he said he loves me. What's your take? Let people say they love whoever they want. This is how he treats people he says he loves. That's it. He abuses people he says he loves. So now he can say, oh, well, I don't really love you, if he wants. Piece of crap. And what he's doing is exploiting your vulnerabilities. And that's what predators do. They'll find your core vulnerability and exploit it. Most people's core vulnerabilities typically tend to be one of 2 things: deprivation or failure. Good way to know what your core vulnerability is ask yourself this question. If you were, just a made-up scenario, if you were to be homeless tomorrow, what makes you feel more vulnerable? The fact that everybody knows that you're a failure, or the fact that you won't have the things that you need, that you're deprived, deprivation, that you don't have a shelter or a warm bed or, food or clean water and take a shower, things like this? What concerns you the most? And that's your core vulnerability. Shame, deprivation. This is a vulnerability. It's not your core vulnerability, obviously, but it's a vulnerability. It's something that makes you vulnerable, and you shared that with him, and he exploits it. Do you see that? If you would have realized who he was first, before you divulge all of these things, maybe it would help, And that's why we take relationships really slow. And that's why boundaries means that we don't divulge all our information right away. But it's not your fault, I mean, that he's doing that, Nicole. I'm sorry. That is awful. That's a horrible thing to make somebody think about like that. I'm really sorry, Nicole. It's really bad. Don't ever let somebody do that to you again, okay? Especially this guy. Brenda from California. Hello, Brenda. I believe my dad is a narcissist. I never witnessed my dad cry, not even at his mother's funeral, except one time he cried. When he came to pick you and your brother up, and you and your brother said, nope, I don't want to go with you anymore, Dad. Get out of here. Leave because of the abuse. And you watched him cry all the way back to his car. And it's confusing you. Can a narcissist really feel hurt and authentically cry? Of course. Of course. It's cry about what and why? Or was that just all an act to make us feel bad for him? Brenda, I wouldn't know, right? I don't know. I don't know him. I don't know you. I wasn't there. I wouldn't know, so I definitely don't want to claim that I know. But what it kind of looks like is ego. Ego. Okay? And man, do I see ego confuse people more than almost anything, man. Some people are just so confused by ego. We need to have a very good, stable sense of who we are, guys. And when you guys compromise who you are in these relationships, you don't. You've felt unstable, and it's just a horrible feeling. It makes us impulsive and all kinds of stuff. Narcissists are egotistical. They have an unstable sense of self or don't know who they are inside. They believe who they are is outside. Our ego starts right where our skin starts. Everything you see on the outside. Not me at all. That's his identity. That's who he is. So if you look at identity, if I don't know who I am myself, then all I have is my identity. And what do I identify with? Identify with things like look at me. I don't know your dad or you, Brenda, but look at me. I'm a white, male, 40-something, American. Your father, the biggest ones, right? Maybe he was a husband, right? He was at one time. And a father, and society says that's huge. And for somebody who doesn't know who they are, and they only know what they identify with, and then now their children don't like them anymore, and his weak, tiny, little, fragile ego is hurt. That's what I think. I'm not going to say he doesn't love you. I don't know. I wouldn't know, okay? I don't know him. Just what it looks like. That's what ego looks like. Don't cry when you lose your mother. You know, what kind of relationship did he have with his mother? They never emotionally were connected. He doesn't see the value of people, doesn't care who people are. Just what they have to offer, and his mother must not have anything to offer him anymore. It's a narcissistic world. Just him. It's his world. It's a sad situation, no? Sure is. I'm sorry. Very sorry. But don't fall for it. It goes about how you feel, okay? If he abuses you, it can't continue. I don't care how much he loves you. I don't care how bad he feels. If he can't not abuse you, stay the F away from him. Celia, New York City. Hello, Celia. So I shortened this. This was really big. So here's the points. Stalked for 3.5 years by the ex. You said, and you're still reacting to him. Breaks into home while you're away. Stole your IP address, things like this. There's a court order that didn't work. Police don't help. You said, I've ran away from him and I tell my truth to those who love me so I feel better. But he's still annoying. Horrible, Celia. I'm sorry you're not getting the help that you believe that you deserve and need. I don't even know you're in New York City. Get a lawyer. Lawyers help you with these things, okay? Get a lawyer. Get a protective order. You said a court order didn't work. I don't know what kind of court order you had, okay? But they do work. And I know people have problems. I understand that. I'm sorry. But we document everything and document your emotions. That's the most important, is how you felt. You start writing down the day and time and everything he does. And if you feel your life is being threatened, you put that down there. And you put down how it does. You go see a lawyer, and your lawyer makes sure that you do get your protective order against you. Something happens. The lawyer can pressure police to press charges as well. Lawyers are lawmen. And I don't know if you can afford that, Celia. I know they're not cheap. Don't give up. But you said you're still reacting to him, and that's really important. Once that he doesn't get anything from you anymore, Celia, typically they stop. If you're reacting to him, then I'm going to just definitely say that that's a big problem, and stop reacting to him. He doesn't need to know anything about you. You don't let him see you. Get rid of all your social media. Try to move, okay? I'm sorry. Awful situation. I would get cameras in your house. He's breaking into them. I would change your locks. I would change all your emails, all your social media, your passwords. You said he took your IP address, then go get your internet from a different provider. Okay? Good luck. Don't give up, and don't react to this stuff, and don't communicate with him. Nicole, again, from Portland. Hello, Nicole. So talking points. I'm shortening these. These are really long. X gave me a promise ring. I gave it back to him and told him it doesn't matter or doesn't mean anything anymore. And then he threw it in the street yelling something. And then the next day, you guys meet up and get in the car again. And even though the relationship is over, he pulls the ring out. Look, I fished it out and a car ran over it. Here, trying to give it to you again, even though the relationship is over. Too confusing. Does this mean he loved me or cared about me because he found the ring and went looking for it? Or just another sick game? It's impulsivity, Nicole. It's impulsivity. I told you about this guy before. This guy sounds totally borderline. He could be narcissist. He could be a sociopath. It's too hard for me to know. I'm not diagnosing people. But this is real out of touch with reality. This is the guy that said he's a vampire, has lived for hundreds of years. I don't think he's making it all up. I mean, he's making it all up, but I think he believes it. He's delusional, Nicole. He's deeply delusional, and he's very impulsive. And that's the up and the down, and I love you, and I hate you, and throw the ring and go get it back, and I love you, and now I don't love you, and I love this person, I love that. And I mean, it's just impulsivity, guys. We can't be around people this unstable, period. We don't go and try and help them. We don't go and try and marry them. We don't go to bed with them. We don't go and get drunk with them. They're impulsive. They're unstable. Everybody's making mistakes. I advise to stay out of the way. Stay out of the way of people's mistakes, right? Just accept that we're all making mistakes. And I don't want to be around people making too big of ones or all the time, especially the same ones, right? Thanks, Nicole. Michelle from New York. Hello, Michelle. You stated someone who are in the community are narcissists themselves, posing as the victims. I wish you could state who they are so people can be aware, but I know you can't. Yeah, I won't, and I never have, because that's smearing, isn't it? I don't do that. We let people that do that be the people that do that. We don't do it back to them. So there's a clear definition, right? Clear, black and white. This person's smearing, the other person is not. And I haven't. And you guys know I haven't smeared anybody. So I will tell you some things about some people in this community, and it could go anywhere. This happens everywhere, guys. It's not just in this community that there's people acting, like they're healthy and whatever, they're into it, and they're just lying and attacking other people and smearing them. They're narcissists. You can go in the makeup community, and there's people doing it there. You can go in the sports community, and there's people doing it there. Clothing, childcare, everywhere, in every community. What's important is that we don't attack others. So what people do, sick narcissists do in this community, some, 1, 2, who knows? They're attacking other people, saying their names, using their videos, using their names. They're calling everybody narcissists, right? There's somebody in this community that has attacked 8 different people already in this community, attacked 8 other channels calling them all narcissists. And what do we do when we say who's pointing a finger? You got all these fingers pointing back at you. That's a lot of fingers pointing back at that person, claiming that all these people are narcissists, using their photos, their full names. We all know this already, right? But people still follow them. And the people that follow them know this. They know all these things, but they're just blind. They're just too normal to them. They're too sick. So they attack others and they call them narcissists, and then they rationalize it. It's always okay. They're contradicting. I can't do it, but they can. And they'll victimize themselves all the time. Poor me, someone's attacking me, someone's smearing me. And they'll give the name and the face, and it's like you're smearing them. Just stop it. Stop it. They never tell specific details about their own abusive experience. That's key. You'll notice that. I have no problem talking about anything in my past because I'm healed from it, and I'm not ashamed of it, and it really happened. So there are narcissist channels out there that pretend and posture to be victims like us, and they don't talk about their abusive experience in great detail to where it makes sense because it never happened. They're typically judgmental, they have attitude, and they're arrogant. These are diagnostic criteria for narcissists. So they're judgmental. They don't forgive people. They accuse people of things that they did wrong and say, look, 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 they did it wrong, they did it wrong, they did it wrong. They make up things and try to make it look real with little proof that would never stand up in court. Can't forgive people for mistakes and shortcomings, and calls other channels narcissist. I know I'm saying there's some out there, but I'm not going to say who it is. I'm not going to hint. And if anyone goes down there and says who it is, I'm going to delete it. Because we don't do that. They do that. So if you see channels doing it, you can report them. Just go up to the little thing over here. I think, yeah, over here. And just hit the little click and report it for being abusive content. That's all you got to do. Thanks, guys. Sharon from Tasmania. Hello, Sharon. I'm wondering if you have any experience or advice about facing a narcissist ex in court. Courts want to put him away for a long time, and I'm in the witness. And you are the witness. Police are concerned for your safety. I can't find any information online. There's a good channel that I'm friends with. I recommend quite a bit. And that's a guy named Dwayne, and his channel's DSD. Stands for David S. There's David, Sam, David. The letters. And it stands for Dad Surviving Divorce. You can type that into Dad Surviving Divorce. Dwayne's great. That's his specialty. He's an expert because of his own experiences. And he's really good. Really, really good. Answers questions, all that. I recommend checking him out, Sharon, and anybody else who's facing massive problems in court with their ex. Make sure you have a lawyer that you can trust, and make sure you have a lawyer working for you. Okay? You're in Tasmania. You're not even in my country. It's hard for me to give you much advice. And I'm not a lawyer, so I can't. Okay? This isn't, my area, and I'm not a lawyer, a judge, or anything like that. But always document things, Sharon. Document everything. I know that some courts in different parts of the world don't mandate that you appear, that you can have your lawyer appear for you. You can say, this person has abused me and I'm scared of them and I don't even want to see them in court. There's courts here in my country, in America, that honor that and sometimes don't force the victim to be in the same courtroom as the attacker, okay? Sometimes they can do that. Ask your lawyer. Just realize, Sharon, that you don't have to do anything. And start framing things in the way that you want to do it. Maybe you can't do it yet and you can file for an extension. But if you're just trying to stay safe for a certain amount of time until he goes away, then go do that. Go stay with family, stay with people that you care about, and keep yourself safe. There's little things, I make videos about stuff like this all the time. And if you want to, it's good to give ourselves a sense of security for our physical safety if we have to. And we go put up cameras and alarm system, and we make sure there's locks on our doors and our windows, and we put up fences, and we make sure our gates are fixed, and we put floodlights everywhere, and we tell our neighbors to keep an eye out, right? And we find out who our local police officer is. Yeah, you can do that. You can find out who your local police officer is that covers your area, you know, in the evenings. Maybe you can talk to them and tell them, I've got somebody, you know, that might attack me in the next 2 weeks. But Sharon, just keep yourself safe. Realize you don't have to do anything. This is all about what you want. Maybe that will help you. Okay, but these are all legal questions, and I advise getting legal professional help. Thank you. Quickly, Michael from Trinidad and Tobago. I'm currently with a borderline girlfriend, and I feel psychologically imprisoned due to the fact that she is suicidal. She threatens me if I try to end the relationship. She has tried killing both of us in a car while driving. Runs away from home all the time because she won't tell her parents, because she says if her parents know, she'll 100% kill herself. Makes no sense. If her parents know she wants to kill herself, then she will kill herself. This is just disgusting. I'm sorry for who this person is, and I'm sorry for how they feel. It's awful, but I don't know how they feel. Any ideas on how to get out of this relationship and are borderline serious about suicide? I'm not going to, this is such a touchy subject. So we know that a lot of borderlines fake suicide. We know that a lot of borderlines cry out for help and attention by using suicidal threats or gestures. A lot of times borderlines are found dead. They actually followed through with suicide and it was an accident. They cut a little too close and there was no suicide note, and they had things, it looked like they didn't really plan on doing that. Besides being attention-seeking behavior, people commit suicide, and it's horrible. And it's horrible that they're doing that to you, and it's an emotional blackmail. It's just disgusting. Here's my recommendations. Give her a pet. I'm not kidding. Give her a pet and then tell her, you are too unhealthy for me. Get help and leave me alone. You're stressing me too out with all your suicidal gestures and threats. That's wrong, and I will not react to them anymore. Leave me alone and give her a pet. Pets are great for people who are suicidal, and really, you're really worried about them following through with it. You give them a little love, a little responsibility, a little, type of meaning in their life, and it can help. Good luck. Don't take it anymore. I could go on and on about that forever, but it's just freaking horrible. I got to cut this off, guys. I have 4 more questions that I'm going to answer in the next video. Okay, from Tanita in Florida, Sam in Australia, Shelly in California, and Cheyenne in Virginia. These are all questions that are about the same topic, so I'm just going to do a whole video on these, okay? Tomorrow, Tuesday. Thank you, guys. Please help me out by subscribing to my channel, please. Please vote up or down. Write a question. Give me a comment. Share this in different social medias. Give this to people you think that will help. Recommend me. I really appreciate it, guys. Love yourself first, and I'll see you tomorrow. Bye-bye.